All right, good day. My name is Topman Paul-Dike, and
Good
Yes,
day.
yes, we can hear you,
My name
sir.
is Topman Paul-Dike, and
today we'll be talking JavaScript.
today we'll be talking JavaScript.
I'm getting some feedback. Wow. Okay. I hope that's it. Maybe someone was unmuted. Okay. So these are the things I want us to discuss. How to writing JavaScript codes, about variables, about data types, and if this is not the first time if this is not the first programming language you're learning, then you should probably know about these things, right? About things like data types and variables and operators and operator precedents. Now, I may it's important that you know a bit about programming before seeing this video, as if you're watching. If you are part of the live audience, um, maybe your questions will make us touch certain things, um, and then so it's supposed to be an interactive section. So let's roll. What is JavaScript? Let's forget about the BB grammar. JavaScript is a tool, is a programming language. When we say programming language, what are we talking about? We are saying that it is a tool that can be used to give instructions, instructions to some software or some machine. Okay, so you can use it to tell the machine to do this and it will do it, do that and it will do that. So it's a language. You learn how to speak it. Language is a system of communication. You know, so you learn how to, just the way we learn English alphabet and just to learn how to speak English. So we learn things like A, B, C to Z, and you know that one that gains mastery of this thing, we so speak it fluently. When you know things like this, and then you know how to make how to make two letter words like this, and up, go, and then you learn three letter words like two, and so on. You're learning how to speak the language. That's how we learn JavaScript as well. When you learn it and learn it and learn it, when you can speak it very well, you won't be depending on someone to tell you what to speak again. You know how to construct the how to construct sentences that are correct. In fact, there are people who can speak English, and when they speak it, you know that what I'm speaking now is not correct. It's not correct English. So, learning how to I liken this to learning how to speak English. So you're learning how to speak a language. Now, to program in JavaScript, you should have it installed in your system. Just that's simple. You can do a simple Google search, download. Okay, that's this. What's it called now? It's an engine or something. Um, Tool called NodeJS. That's the environment where JavaScript codes are interpreted. So you can have it downloaded for no matter your operating. Okay, for Windows, for Mac OS, for Linux. Let me just see no matter your operating system. I don't know how many operating system there is out there. So you can see. So you download for if for 32-bit architecture, for 62-bit architecture, and then you can download on the command line. If you're using the command line, you can do that. Of course, there's a command. Of course, the Google search can help us with that as well. If I say download Node.js, let's say Linux. I should have added command line on Linux command line. So it tells you that first you should run this command to out update, and then the next is to install this, and you install it by running the command this sudo apt install node.js, right? And then you need to install what they call npm node package manager. We've not gotten to that where we use it yet, but this is actually something else, but something related, something needed. Yeah. Okay, that's that for now. And so when you have that installed, you'll be able to run JavaScript programs on your computer system. Now, let's talk about writing JavaScript code. I have it installed in my system, and to check, do this, version. Okay, it happened not to be installed here. This is Vagrant, so I'll simply exit and use my system. So let's check. Alright, so I have version 12.22.9 installed. What next? What is it about writing JavaScript code? Now, you can call up this environment on the command line and write your code here, and it's something similar to Python interactive mode. Something similar. If you don't know Python, sorry, pardon me. Just focus. You will learn something new, right? I'm going to have two terminals here. This is Steve diagram, so we won't use it. I'm going to have two terminals so that I'll be using one to write files. I'm using one to operate in the interactive, in the NodeJS environment. So we're going to have a directory here. And please feel free to contribute when you are compelled to. It's important that this section is as interactive as it could be. Hey, leave this place now, you. I don't want you against by force. Let me just have it in the same directory. So I'm going to exit for now. Dot exit and move into the same directory and clear this thing and come back to this mode. Alright, so I have two terminals here, right? I have this one and I have this one. This one is in this mode and this one is, come on, this one is in this mode. Now let's talk about writing JavaScript code. Let's begin with something very common: how to print an object to the console, right? So use a functionality console with the method .log. So this is like print in Python, or like printf. You can just liken it to these functions in printf in C. Alright, so console.log, I can say hypers. So it prints it for me. Whereas if I was in this other place, first thing I want to do is to make sure that I'm creating a file that has, I like to use Emacs. I'm creating a file that has what's it called? The file extension .js. What do I mean by file extension? Let's come back here. File extension is what shows the format in which a file is. And does anyone want to help me? File extension. I don't want to be the one talking. Talk about file extension and give us some examples. Yeah. Okay. I guess.
File extension. We have.
I think an example of
we have JC.
Okay, let's have your hand raised so that we avoid
Have your hand
glitches.
raised so that we avoid this glitches.
So go ahead, Steve.
We have JC.
AC.
As in John's, as in JSON.
JC.
JSON.
JSON.
Yeah, yes. JavaScript file extension.
Okay.
We have.
Can someone help him? You can do so. Thank you. Someone was trying to say something. Was that Emmanuel?
we also have file extensions like .html
Okay.
for running HTML files.
All right. What is file extension, by the way?
We have CSS. We have CSS. Do we need it?
PY.
Come again. Say what?
.py.
.py. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, file extension is simply what tells us the format and the file is. So you have the file name. Once you have the file name, let's say you have something like this. A file that has kind of title. Let's say he me.
Hear me.
Please, everyone should please mute. If you're not talking, to mute. I'm getting some feedback.
Okay.
I'm getting some feedback.
Thank you. If you have something like hear me and say .mp3, you just know that this is a music. You know the file is in an audio format because you saw that mp3. This is what is called file extension, right? So if I have another file here and say the rock dot let's say 3gp, I mean, many people will know, many of you know that this thing means that it's a video. It could be mp4, it could be AVI, it could be MOV. Those things tell the format in which the style is. So if it's .py, it's a Python file. If it, so that's it. So for JavaScript files, the file extension is JS. So this is something that I did in this mode that is interactive here on this console. If I want to do it here as a file, I need to create a file that has that extension. Whatever name I want to give to it, I must add .js. So once I do this, and this is how, of course, this is how, what's this? Oh, I don't want it like this. No, close. Emacs no window. Okay, that option is to make it not pop out. Okay, because when Emacs is installed in your system, once you call it, it will want to pop out, and then bring out a mode that is a GUI where you can click these things menu here. But I want it on the command line totally. So console.log. Hello everyone. Whatever I put here will print, so long as I enclose them in okay, not everything anyway, there are special characters, we'll come to that. All right, we print. All right, so next thing I want to do is to save this. Right, I've saved it. Let me close this now. Now next thing, once I call node is the guy that does that interprets this code, okay, that interprets JavaScript code and provides the environment, the runtime environment for the code to run. So if I say node and pass this file to it and click, it prints what I asked it to print. Hello everyone. So you see the difference between using this and using this. Although here I printed high pairs, here I just typed it here in this line, and the next line gave us the result. Okay, whereas here I had it typed inside the file that had the extension .js, and I put it. Notice that I added semicolon here. I did not add there. I mean, I could have chosen not to add it. Okay, but it's a good practice to add it. If I don't add it, it will still print. That was how this one printed. If I added it, is watch the same thing. Okay, let's make progress. Now, that's it. That's basically I think the first thing you need to know about writing JavaScript codes. Now let's talk about variables, and I think I want to talk about data types. We're talking about variables. Data types. There are basically, I think, 6 types of data types in JavaScript. If you remember them, this is the parallel learning section, right? If you remember them, you may want to remind me. I think there are 6 of them, or 5 basic, but then the ones that you must know, or that may likely be the first ones you will know, are strings. That is the numbers, and those strings. Number, string, and number in this case is talking about both integers and floats. They are all recognized as number in JavaScript. No, they're not seen as different entities, right? So there's no such thing as char here as you have in C. Even if it's one single character enclosed in single quotes, it is still a string. Still a string. Okay. Of course, these are the first 2 you know. Okay, we may talk about object later on. We may talk about object. Let me just stop here. Talk about these 2. What are numbers? Let's do a little experiment. If I declare a variable here and say the keyword for declaring variable is var, you put var, right? And okay, I want to declare a variable. By the way, what is a variable? Let's talk about variable. Variable is just a container, right? Is something that holds a value for you, right? And the way I like to explain it is that if I had three basins like this, or let's say three containers like this that I use in my house, and I could have one in my kitchen and say this one is for oil. I could have one somewhere in the passage and say it's for my fuel. I could have another one somewhere, uh, somewhere, let's say in the fridge, and it's for water, drinking water, right? And so once I have this kind of things, I don't want to. You don't, no, I wouldn't want to come and um, rinse the water for oil and use it for drinking water. No, I've declared that this container is to contain oil. If I want to change the substance, I have to use something similar, something related to it. For example, I could choose to take off palm oil and let's say I could choose to use a container that used to hold vegetable oil before, maybe groundnut oil, what we call groundnut oil, and then take off the last one and then I'll put palm oil inside it. There will not be any disaster if I do that. But I can't come and rinse the rubber, the container meant for fuel, and pour food in it. That would be funny. I've seen people rinse a container meant for kerosene. They use it to fetch fuel. Now I don't know the particular audience I'm addressing. I hope I'm making sense. Yeah. So I can't come and say, oh, this is my drinking water, but I want to put rice inside now. Alright. Yeah. No, I want to put fuel or petroleum product inside now. That would be funny. Alright. I mean, I just thought about it. It's possible for me to say, okay, today I'll put tea inside it, and then I will rinse it later and turn it back to my drinking water. Okay, fine. But using tea, putting tea here and later rinsing it to use water inside it, I mean, they are related. Both of them are food. So that's how I can have this and say this is a variable of type number and this is a variable of type string. It means I can put 2 here, or I can put number 4. I can say, okay, no, not more number 4, number 20 now, or 2 point this. So you don't want to, but in JavaScript you don't struggle with those. JavaScript will automatically identify what type of variable it is once you declare the variable. So once you put the keyword var here and say the variable, the variable is name, and say and assign the value. Of course, strings are put, they are enclosed in either single quotes or double quotes. So I say name is whose name should I use now? Steve. Okay, and put my semicolon here, without which it will still work. And then see, if I now say name, type in name, it tells me that name, content of name is Steve. You see that? And I mean, I couldn't do this in this other environment. I have to type it in and run it like this, node, name of the file, and it will do what I ask it to do. But here I can do this. I mean, if you without calling console.log, right? So if I now say console.log name, so it tells me it's Steve. Steve is the name that is in there. Okay, so that is that. This thing will work if I didn't use the keyword var. The interpreter will automatically treat it as something that has this var, right? So I can say name, like no for number, no equals 24. Let's say no2 equals 3.1. So if I say what type of variable is no, it tells me it's a number. If I say this, if I do the same thing for no2, it tells me it's a number. If I say what type of variable is name, it tells me it's string. Right? So the data type is string, while the variable is holding something. And what this variable name is holding is Steve. Okay, I hope that is explained. Let's make progress. Data types, no. So var, I just told you about the var keyword, right? It's used to declare a variable. So, but then a version of JavaScript called known as EX6, ECMAScript 6, came with these 2 new keywords for declaring variables. And shortly we are going to try to find out why or what's peculiar about these keywords. This is the point where I want to pause for a while and let someone talk about it. I can declare variable with var, anything, whether string or object, array, var will do. So why do I need let? Why do I need consts? Why do I need let and why do I need consts? Yes, I want someone to talk about the mic. Let's see. I hope we can cover these things in this section. So that when we come next time and start talking things like objects and closures, someone wouldn't be confused. Does anyone want to tell us? So I want you to appreciate the fact that we are treating JavaScript as a language of its own. I am not treating it like a language for web development. Okay, it's a programming language on its own. So we've isolated it from web development where we are using to make where it is used to make a web page interactive. You know, but then as a programming language on its own. All right, no one is talking, so I'll just go ahead. So this is it about the let and const keyword. Watch this. If I go into this guy now again, hello.js, and say I want to have let's say a variable name. I think that's something I should talk of before coming to this place. Let's you need to appreciate this fact that we can concatenate strings. We can add a string to another string. So if I can say the new value of name is now equal to what name used to be, plus when I put plus, I'm concatenating it, plus space what is Steve's surname now? Steve Steve, what's his surname? It's Steve. I'll give you one.
Ojata. 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 TTA. OJATA.
Am I spelling this right?
Yes. ATA.
All right.
T. As in tiger. As in tiger.
Oh, OT.
Yes. As in table.
Is it correct now?
No. OJATA. Let me put it on the chat.
Sorry. Like this.
My name is there now. You see it now.
Oh, Jota.
Yes, sir. Ojata.
Okay, sorry. All right.
Yes, sir.
So if I say the new value of name is equal to what name used to be plus this, I'm saying concatenate, I'm saying join the two string. You record that I add space here. If I didn't add this space here, because space is a character of its own, if I didn't add it here, it will add the space, it will join them together. But because I added space here, it will add the same space that I add. Let's see whether this works. You can see now that the new value of name is Steve or Chata. Right? So if I do that console.log name again, where is it? It prints Steve or Chata. That's so. One funny thing about JavaScript and is how that you could concatenate a number with a string. So if I do that thing again, I say name is equal to what name is, right? What name is now plus 20. Sorry, plus the variable no. No is 24, right? And do enter. See what it's doing now. It just added 24. That means it turned the 24 that was a number to a string. It now became characters, no more numbers. You know, and it's important to note that. Now let's come back here and demonstrate the difference between var, let, and const. So I could choose to come here and say var name equals whose name will I pick this time? Olufunmilayo. Let me stop here. So once I do this, I can come here and say print hello, and I put comma, name. I've given it two arguments. Print hello. So because it sees a comma here, it will naturally put space between these two. Okay, I'm not using concatenation now. If I was using concatenation like this, let me show you the difference now. I will save this. Let me get a new terminal. Yeah, we'll do the compilation. Let me make this bold, more visible, and I think I'll put it here and put this one on the left. Okay, that's cool. All right, now let's run the file. If I say node hello the JS, so it says hello Olufumi, it puts the space. But if I come back here and decide to concatenate and say hello plus, even if I put space everywhere here, let's see what happens. I save this, I go back here and run this one again. Look at it, no space. No space. Because I'm using concatenation. If I'm using concatenation, I have to state what should be concatenated. It doesn't matter the space I put between them. It is just acting on what is the strings you give to it. And when we say strings, we're talking about what you typed in between these double quotes or single quotes, whatever you might be using. So I might be skipping certain things that I think you know already. So if I do like this now, what I've done is to ask you to print hello and to add a space and then add what is inside here. If I save this and run it now, see what happens. So it prints, gives us the desired result. Hello Olufumi. Alright, now if I come here and take off Olufumi, let me cut this off. If I cut off Olufumi and stop here, now there is nothing inside name. If I ask it to print what is there, see what it does. Hello undefined. Undefined is the error that it shows when there is a part, when the variable really exists, but the variable has nothing inside it. There's no value assigned to it. So undefined is what you get. I repeat, undefined is what you get when the variable really exists, but there is no value assigned to it. So I just took out the value assigned to it and it says undefined. Whereas there's another error that you get when the variable does not exist. Let me show you the error. I'm going to comment this off. It is now a comment. I'm going to try to run it again. It gives us plenty of write-ups here, and it's saying name is not defined. So not defined is different from undefined, right? And it's not defined. You can see the mark, the correct mark under N here, showing that the problem is from here, the error is from here. Okay, now see what happens. If I JavaScript reads this code line by line, okay, let me take this guy here, and that's the guy I copied. Yeah, so let me paste this guy here. In fact, let me even cut this off as well. Let me kill this one and yank it here. All right, now see one funny thing that happens with this guy. Okay, let me push it down so it will be more visible. So this guy is down now. This particular code is down, but see what happens when I try to run it. The kind of error I get. So let me clear this screen. I thought I just cleared. I'm in the wrong environment. Okay. No, don't do that. Oh no. Sorry about that. I thought I was on the terminal when I made the operation. So here we go. Now my terminal, I'm gonna clear the screen. Let's just run it again. So he says hello undefined. What's that? What is it doing? Now, if I take off this Olufumi, cut it off, stop here, run it again. It does the same thing. Come on, I'm expecting it to tell me that the variable does not exist, because at this point, it shouldn't have seen the variable. It shouldn't have seen the variable at this point. So how come? How come it's working? How come? I'll tell you why. Now, when I did what I did here, I had it like this. You know what it did? At runtime, it will translate this code to mean this. It will see it as that I'm saying var name, and then I came and gave this instruction here, and then later came and did name. Okay, I have it on my clipboard, right? I have it again. Okay, name. Let me get this. I have it pasted here. It will see it like this. So because it sees it like this, it will now go and print the error that is printed when the variable exists but has no content, no value assigned to it. This is the process or the phenomenon known as hoisting in JavaScript. The process where all variable declarations hoisting is correct. Yeah. Where the variables you declared are pushed up at runtime. No matter where you declare the variable, even if you declare it at last line, when it's running, JavaScript will push it up, and all variable declarations will be up. That's what happened here. Okay, let's make progress now. So this is one thing that the let keyword came to solve. You can't do that with let. You can't do that with let. Let me show what I mean. If I had let here, let's say I take off the var and put let here. Let will not allow it to be available up there. Let me run it again to give me that error that it gives when you can see cannot access name before initialization. Cannot. So the only way this can work is that I'm going to push this stuff up here. So I put it up here and come and try to run it again. Look at it now, it gives me the result. Hello, Olufumi. Another thing is that you can reassign, you can make one variable. You can redeclare the variable, which is a terrible thing. You can, as in a variable that is already declared, you now have it redeclared again. I mean, that's not something you expect from programming. What I mean is, if this was var name here, var name, I could come here again and say, okay, var name is now equal to, let me use my name, Topman, and everything will work well. So let me paste this here. Let me change this one to high. Let's see. So everything is working well. He printed hello Olufumi and hello hi Topman. Whereas I was declaring the variable more than once. See, there's a difference between reassigning variable. If I want to reassign, I don't need to put any keyword. Right? This will work with let. If I put let here and say, okay, I am reassigning the variable, and then let me run it now. It runs well. But if I say I'm redeclaring the variable by putting another let here, there'll be trouble. It's not allowed. So that's one of the things they came to, one of the things that let keyword came to solve. You can see there's an error now. Tells me that the file name has already been declared. I can't declare it again. And then there's this other guy that came for us to have constant variable. Once you declare, but to make a variable constant, you cannot do any other. You cannot change it. You cannot reassign any value to it. Notice the words I'm using: reassign, redeclare, initialize. I've not even initialize here, but if I mean your questions will make me explain for that, so that I will not take much time talking the basics. Your questions, if you have any, will make me explain further. So if I try to change this now, see what it says. So it tells me that assignment to constant variable. That's the error. I can't assign to constant variable. Once it's constant, then I cannot change it. Cannot change it. So now it should work now. So hello Oluwafemi. Hi Oluwafemi. Alright. That's that about that. Let's talk about operators. Operators will have the AND operator, the OR operators, which are what's that called now? Logical operators, yeah, logical operators. So let me make a list of. So we have logical operators. Can someone help me? What other kind of operators do we have? Please add your voice. We would not plan that I'll be talking alone. No. This is a PLD section. No hand is raised. Is this betrayal? Is it relational comparison? Relational. Are we still together here? Hey.
Yes, we have.
Hey.
Yeah, we are here, sir.
Why are you forsaking me now? Okay, so that's basically it. You need to know about these stuffs and how they work. Yeah, it's an important knowledge to have. And then operator precedence. Operator precedence, we are talking about when there are more than one operator present in an instruction, which one will the programming attend to first? So it's not something I'll come and start teaching here. It's not something you memorize. It's something that you get used to as you keep practicing, and you may not even have them all at heart. I don't know. It's possible anyway. So, for example, when you have something like, let's say, between an operation like, let's say, index plus plus and plus plus index, you know that they are two different things. They're not the same thing. Plus plus index. If these two, I mean, how which one is attended to first? Which one is given priority? Prior attention. That's what operator precedence is about. So remember that your board mass rule. If you did board mass, if you don't do it, don't worry. Board. Okay, let me put it together. Board mass. This is just to illustrate how that this is bracket of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So when you see numbers together that have something like this, that have all these operations together. So let's say 2 plus 3 times 4 divided by 2. Okay, let's say minus 2. So which one should you do first? You cannot just, mathematics does not allow you to just start because you see 2 plus 3. You're not going to do 2 plus 3 first and then do, it will be 5, and then 5 times 4 will be 20, and then 20 minus 2 will be 18. That might be wrong except you follow this rule. This rule says that we have plus, times, and minus here. So subtraction is the last one, so it's the last thing you attend to. Addition. So we have multiplication, seniors addition, and seniors subtraction. So you attend to multiplication first. It means you have to do 3 times 4 first. 3 times 4 first, which will give you 12. And then if you now, next thing is addition, you now do 12 plus this 2. That will be 14. Then 14 minus 2, it will be 12. Let's find out what that is. So let's find out what that is 2. So let's go to this console and do 2 plus 3 times 4 minus 2. Okay, it's not this times. It uses asterisk, not this. Alright, so you see the answer is 12. Meanwhile, if you do 2 plus 3, it will be 5. 5 times 4 will be 20. 20 minus this will be 18. You can see. So it obeyed the rule of board mass. That's how programming instructions have operator precedence. What operator should I give prior attention? over the order, which one comes first. That's what it's about. So that when you read about it, you will appreciate it, and it's not something you can't start memorizing or cramming. It's when you're working based on what you want, but just read about it basically. All right. Controlling program flow. This is just about how to effectively use functionalities created for you to control how the program behaves, when the program should do what. And an example is if-else statement. There are several of them. There is for each loops, for each loop, for loop. There is ternary operators. You may want to read about them. I'll just practically show a few of them and how they work. So let me have this here. Okay, so I'm going to clear this console and use my program here to do some more things. So I'll say, let's say, what do I do now? Let's say const name. Let's say const age. Let's say this is a program that admits one into this live section, and the program checks for the age of the person, and the program is taken from 18 and above, and Olufumi happens to be 18. So the program looks at it when you knock to join. The program reads your name and reads your age, and either allow you or kick you out. So I can come here and say, put this as this is how I can put the control flow now. I can say if age is greater than or equal to 18. Once I do this, I open my curly brace, and of course it's good to close it at once so I don't forget. And I come here and put my instruction. If this is the case, then I want to put this inside. I want to use this console.log inside here. So let me have it here. I'll say then do this, do welcome. Let me close this thing and put. I intentionally added a space there, right? Welcome plus name. I'll say welcome to the meet. Space name. No, put comma here, comma space name. Okay. Let's find out now whether this works. I want to comment this line of code, line 10. Save it. Now let's run the code. It says welcome to the meet, Olufumi. So let's say Olufumi was trying to join, and Olufumi happened to be 13 years of age, and the program caught it. And then let's run it now. It does not do anything because we've not asked it to do anything. We have to ask it to do something. We have to add an else statement. So we'll say else, right? And then I'll come here and put what the instruction here. And let me get this one. Yankee it here. Okay, so I'll say sorry. Put a space here. Plus name. Then plus this, comma, you are too young. Cover. Close the code. Okay, so let's try this. Look at what it really looks like. Okay, see that, right? So let's save this. Now let's run it. If I run it again now, it says sorry, you are too young. If I change the name, the age to 20, I have a control flow here, so it checks what happens now. You see, welcome to the meet, right? So just to show that it's really working, let's say sorry, you are, let me cut the string here, you are space, close it, plus age. I want you to print the age here. You are age plus this space and too young. Alright, and let's say, okay, let us leave it like that, and just to be sure that it's working well. So let me go and change that age now to 12 and save it and run it again. Say sorry Lufumi, you are 12 and too young. So this is control flow, an example of control flow. Now watch this. I can do this thing with something called ternary operator. Right, it's a way of shortening this thing, making it a bit easier. So that one is simply, I can say if age less than or equal to 18, I put question mark here, and I put what it will return. I'll say return welcome. Let me just make it short, brief, right? Else, this column means is the else now. Else return not allowed. All right. With this, we have represented what we have here. Remember that there's a difference between return value and logging out something to the console. They're two different things. So I don't expect this to print out. We are just returning something. For it to print out, you need to have a console.log. So if I say console.log and put all of this inside brackets as the argument. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Now the age is 12, so let's do. This is not allowed because the age is 12. If I go and change the age to, let's say 22, and run it again, now it says welcome. That's ternary operator for you. That's just by the way. That's one of the control flows. There are, I think, about 6 of them. Okay, now let's talk about command line arguments. Process.argv. Process.argv. We are making progress. Because I was supposed to be a PLD section. Yeah, letting me do plenty of the talking. I feel betrayed right now. Okay, so process.arg, we are talking about being able to catch something from the command line. I mean, ls is a program that lists everything that is in a particular directory. So but ls can take some arguments, right? So if I say -a, it does more than list the visible ones. It lists even hidden directories. Dot and dot has been listed. If I say list, it's ls-l. So this guy is called argument, and it's called command line argument, but because I think I can call it argument. Well, it's an option, it's a flag. I think you can refer to it as an argument. So it's called command line argument because it is an argument that is passed to a certain program on the command line. So you can write in JavaScript and ask it to do something to an argument passed to it on the command line. Yes. Now these are things that you may not appreciate if all you want to do with JavaScript is just make your front end development, your front end web page interactive. But JavaScript does more than that. More than just making some web page beautiful, interactive. Does much more than that. Okay. All right. Now let's start to build a program that takes from the command line. Let's say the program asks. Let's have the program ask for the name and age from the command line. All right. So let's say you You type in the program, you type in your name, and you type in the age. Okay, how do we do that? I want to make it simple. Let's make it simple. So I will leave the age. Let me comment off the age. Let's say name. Yeah. Let's only ask for name. So this is how process on Adbig works. If I say let me comment this up as well. Okay, let me also comment this one. I think I'll make them same code commented. If you are here, then you know how the codes came about. So it should be the same code, all of them. All right, all has turned to a comment. Let me write it from here. So I want to have this program console.log hello plus process dot rv 012. I will explain if it works. Hey, let's just hope it works. All right, now forget about every other thing that is here for now. Nothing. This is the only instruction that is in this file now. Let's see what happens. So run it for us. So it says hello undefined. That means I did not give it an argument. It's expecting an argument, right? So if I do node and say hello.js and I pass olufumi to it, so what it does, it say hello olufumi. If I do that again, take off olufumi and pass in Topman to it as an argument, it says hello argument. Now what is happening here? This guy is at position 0. This should not be hard for you to understand if you remember the use of array. And at least the audience I have, the live audience I have here, people who know C programming, people who know a bit of Python. So I think I'm safe doing this. I'm safe doing this kind of illustration. I think I'm communicating. This is one at argv0. You remember argv, right? This is argv0, and the name of the file is at argv1, and the first argument is at argv2. That's why I'm using argv2 here. I'm using argv2. Okay, let me now. If I wanted this guy, I feel like taking all of this off. Okay, I want you to ignore everything from line 1. Okay, just don't let them confuse you. Okay, let me let's just assume that line 17 is our line 1, and then I go and do something like this. Hash user being node. Okay, this will instruct the operating system to use node as the interpreter, right? Why am I doing this? I will show you in a bit. If I come here now, the next thing I want to do is to make the file executable, so that I will just call it straight. I'll now come and do change mode, give add to the user's permission, the permission to execute, and then I pass the file name hello. Once I do this, the file turns green. It means I don't need to do node this again. It will still work, but I can now call it like this dot / if I didn't do this, I won't be able to say dot / execute. Now I've done this, it will run like a script. So if I just press enter, line 1 bin is a directory. What is it saying? Bang 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 bang. Okay, why is this unexpected token? We're line 5. Okay, who has seen the error? Why is he checking this line? thought I commented all these lines off. Line 1, line 2, line 3. If age less than this. This is serious. Okay. I'm going to have this. So X. I'm going to have it in another file. New file. So let me save this and open a new file. I'll call this one greet, or let me call it agv.js. Here it is. I'm going to paste what I just copied. What is your problem? I thought I just copied something now. What is happening? Hey, it's missing. It's lost. Okay, no problem. Let me type it again. So I did what did I do before? I did this. Okay, I guess I should have had it at line 1. Okay, user slash bin slash node. Okay, so console dot log welcome welcome plus whatever is passed as the first argument, which will be at position 2. I think we are good to go. So if I do this now, I need to come and change mode for this file, right? I don't want this one again, so let me remove that instruction. So it will lose its green color. And this time, watch, if I try to run agv.js like this, that's a problem, permission denied. But if I do the change mode something and come here and say add x and take this off and pass agv to it, agv turns green. So if I do ./agv and give it, let's say Sarah, so it's working where it says welcome Sarah. So how come it's still working when I just told you that this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2, but here we'll have only this and this. Now you would have thought that this would have been 0 and this would have been 1, but no, it still sees it like this, right? So it sees node, what is seen there is actually node agv.js, and then let me change the name now, Desmond. It's seeing it like this. I hope I am communicating. That's why. So there's a method in JavaScript called .length, right? .length. Let me add it on my whiteboard. It is used to check the length of an array or of a string, right? .length. Okay, it's a method. The name of the method is length actually, but the reason I'm saying I'm emphasizing .length is because it's a method. It's something that you use by adding dots and calling it in. For example, if I want to check for the length of, let's say, I wanted this program to print the length of the character entered. So if I say no. If I say the length of your name is, then I come here and add .length. Let me make it full so it be clearer. I come here and add .length. I hope I spell this way now. Alright, let's see. Is this a method? Is this a method? Okay, I did not call it with you parentheses. I don't remember. I don't think that works. All right, so now let's do it this way. That's what happens. So let me run it again. So it says, welcome Sarah. The length of your name is this. You can see. So once I put dot length here, I am checking for whatever was before this dot. I am checking for the length of that thing. Right? And now see, if I say go back to, if I run the program again and add Sarah and say Thomas, I think Thomas is spelled like this, Thomas, and add Jones and add Jack, it still greets only the first name because would not ask it to do anything to other arguments. Okay, so if I had done something like this, like say 3, and come here and say 3, it will not skip. This is 2, right? It will not go and attend to Thomas. Let's see. Let me run it again. So it says, welcome Thomas. The length of your name is 6. That's interesting, right? Apart from checking the name of the length of the particular the length of the particular, the length, how do I put this now? The number of characters in your string, right? The length of the string. Apart from checking it, you can check how many arguments you passed. Just know that. For example, I can say process.argv and move this in here and say dot length. Argv is an array of this entire arguments. Just imagine an array. I've not explained what array is actually, but I will explain that shortly. Just know that array is like an object now. It's like a thing, you know, that is containing, for example, like we have here. Let me just copy this and have it pasted there. Have them pasted there. So an array in JavaScript looks like this, where these guys are separated with comma. Alright, so this array usually will begin with node as the first one, and the next will be whatever the file is, the file or the script. So let me just put it like this. The file. Okay. So the JS file. Alright. So they are indexed where this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and that is why when I have this as 3, it's going for the second argument passed. Right? So this is 4 and this is 5. So we'll have 1, 2, 3. Let's not ask it to print to tell us how many arguments we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now so argv alone is what is containing this thing. Argv is like there's a variable called argv. Just take it as a variable called argv. It's an array that has all of this stuff inside of it. Okay. So if I now remove the square bracket that refers to a particular one and remove it, I am now referring to the entire array. So it gives me the length of the array. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements in this array. Let's see. Would that okay? I will run the program again and ask it to print. Let's say the first name, and I will change this to the length. Or let's say you passed so let's say argv has this plus space elements. Let me make this full screen so you see clearly what I just typed here. Close the double quotes. Okay, you're good to go. You're good to go. So if I do this now, let's see what happens. I want to change the first argument to something short. Let's say uh, Joe. Just because right, you know that the program is working, because if it's Joe and it uses instructions, it should count 3. If it's counting the no, the length of the string, it should count 3. But if it's counting the entire array, but now it should count 7. So Joe is somewhere here now in the array. Remember, this is a comment. It's not running. It's not an instruction for Node. The Node interpreter. So here we go. So it says, "Welcome, Joe." In like it full. Welcome, Joe. ArgV has 7 elements, and that's correct. So when you are aware that this guy has 7 elements, you can know how to target the particular one that you want to target. No, you cannot target the one that you want to target. So what if I want this guy to print accurately? Let's say if I do .argv, .js, and pass only one element and say heart. It says welcome heart. ArgV has 3 elements. You see that? What if I wanted to print something like you passed one argument? Let's see. Watch this. I want the program to be able to tell when there's. Okay, someone has his raised. Steve, please ask a question. Hello, Steve. Are you there?
No, okay, sir. Yes, sir, I'm here. Yeah. You continue. I'll drop my hand. But my question is, you are using 2 terminal, one for one for basic work, and the other one for reporting. So I get lost along the line. I say, okay.
Okay. There's no big deal
Let me
here,
raise my
right?
hand.
It's the same computer system. I just opened 2 terminals. I'm in the same environment. In the same environment, like inside the same directory is where I'm working. This one is different from this other one where I'm using something that we could liken to Python interactive mode. This one is giving me the result as I'm putting it. It's not waiting for me.
Okay.
Give me the results line by line. Okay. All right. So you may lower your hands so that I will know when you are calling for my attention. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now let's make progress. Where was I? So I'm trying to make this guy able to tell how many arguments I really passed to it. Now we are programmers. We know that yes, there is 0 and there is 1. But if there's a user using this stuff, the user will be confused. How you tell me I passed 3 elements where I have only 1? So you don't want that. So let's abstract it. Let's hide it. It's only us that knows that, oh, this guy passed 1 argument or 2 arguments. We should be able to tell the user that he passed 1 argument, 1 element here. Alright, so we now say if this guy, we now put an if statement and say if, put in bracket, if process dot argv dot length is let's say is less than 2. I mean, if it's 0 and 1, if you don't pass arguments, then you should tell the person that let's say, let me take this up. Let me take away the welcome, just to make our program a bit neater and not too complex. So if I like to encourage you to close your curly braces before typing, so you won't mistakenly forget and start having errors. So I'll say you did not add. Let's say please add your name. Please add your name. Then okay, please run the file again and add your name. run the script again and add your name. No, name. Let's make it full screen. Okay. Then, and I'll say else. Now, those are, we can have several else statements, right? Once a condition is specified, it's no more than else. So else if is it okay? Else if process.arg. Let me take this from here. I just kill and yank here as well. Else if this is equal to 2, tell the person, let me get this, consider log and say let's not welcome the person. Welcome I say welcome plus process.arg arg v and 2. Then let's now say else now not specify any condition. That means any other thing that happens that is not these 2 specified up there, do this. Right, I still have that on my clipboard, right? Yeah. Okay, else. Let's assume that the person added his surname and let's assume the person added his surname. So we just say welcome. Let me take this from here. I will take this from here, have it here, and have another one, and take off this semicolon and close the bracket, and take off this one. So I will say this. Let me just make a different argument. So welcome, comma, welcome is string, comma, process.add_v2, comma, process.add_v3. I hope this is not a complex one. Okay, now I want to tell the person that that's not what I want. Let's take this and have it here. I want to tell the person you entered dot length. So you entered space here, take up this comma, let's use concatenation this time, so plus, then plus, space here, names. Alright, let me also copy this, kill and yank, and have it here as well, yank it, and the properly, so you enter name. I don't want it to tell somebody that entered one name that the person entered one names, you know. That's why I'm doing this. So if it's only one name, so you entered one name. So you entered, let me even take off this guy. I can hard code everything. So you entered only one name. Alright, let's go and load that program. Let's, if everything is okay. So what is happening here is that I'm checking for the length. I'm checking for how many arguments. So if it's up to 2, if it's less than 2, it means there was no argument passed to it. So it should print this. Say please run the script again and add your name. Then if the length is equal to 2, it means there was only one argument passed to it. So it should greet that name and tell the person that you entered only one name, right? And then if the person entered, if else means that if it's not less than, okay, this one else has a problem, but I won't go there now. So else means that if it is not a program that is less, if the number of arguments is not less than 2, and if it is not equal to 2, that means if it's greater than 2. if anything greater than 2, welcome the person, print only the first 2 arguments, and then tell the person you entered, count number of names or arguments that the person entered, and give the person the number. But then we don't want to subtract the 2 for 0 and 1. I don't know what I'm communicating right now. You want to subtract the 2 so that the person will not be surprised and say, I entered only 1 name, you're telling me I entered 2 names. So I will say process.length minus 2. I don't know would this work, by the way. I hope this will work. I hope it works. Okay, now let's take this to the side and try to run the script. So let's say heart. Okay, let's run to that an argument. It says, where is the welcome modifier coming from? Are we together? Welcome. Excuse me, what is happening here? I've not asked you to welcome anybody now. Okay, let me save it again. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, I'm wondering why this is happening now. Less than 2. This is less than 2 actually. So why is it printing welcome? Oh, less than 3 actually. That's wrong. Less than 3 is better, because less than 2 we mean because this is 0 and this is 1, so there are 2 already. We can't be looking for less than 2. If you're looking for if it's less than 3, that means if it's only these 2. So let's now try it again. And I save that. Yes, I did. I'm going to clear the screen and run that program again. So it says, please run the script again and add your name. So if the person now adds his name and say heart, it says welcome heart. Excuse me, what is welcome heart modifier again? Okay, I should use 3 here as well. If this is equal to 3. Yeah. You know why? I believe you know why. I've explained that. So it's 3 because the first one is node. The next one is the name of the file, and then the next one is, this is the third one. Whatever is here is the third one. So we should be targeting length 3. Okay, this is length 3. Length 3 is counting it as listen. Length 3 is counting it as, let's see. Go to the terminal and see what I can. So length 3 is counting it as the length whatever. Now that length inbuilt length functionality is counting this as 1, 2, and 3. Meanwhile, the index is 0, 1, 2. So when I'm working with these square brackets, I am using the index. So when I say 2, I'm referring to the third one. So when I say length equals 3 as well, I'm as well referring to the third one. Okay, so let's run this again. It should run better now. Let me run that again. So let me cut this off and run this. So it says welcome hearts. You entered only 1 name. Let's take it again. If I run this without a name, it says run the script again and add your name. If I run it with a single name, it says welcome hearts. You enter only 1 name. If I run more than 1 name, had done. It says welcome heart done. And what is that? Okay. This guy is not working probably. Okay, this guy probably not working. Let me take it off. Another again. So welcome heart, you enter 4 names. I don't want you to print you enter 4 names. I want you to print only you enter 2 names. Let me leave you the assignment. What would I do to make it print you enter 2 names instead of saying you enter 4 names? Right? what will I do so that it does not, let's say, um, James, Drake, David. Now it's saying you enter 6 names, whereas you entered 4 names. That means it's adding the other 2. What do we do to make it not add these 2? You find out. That will be your task. I think this is a good place to end. Have we talked about everything? Functions, objects and arrays, model patterns. What do you think? Should we go ahead and talk about this? I think we've taken enough time. Should we go ahead and talk about this? I need a response. Where are they? Have they left me? Hello?
Hi, Topman.
What did you say?
We can talk about it maybe in the next lesson.
Okay. Alright. So this is a good place to stop. You want to know read about objects, arrays, how to manipulate them, how to use them, functions, in JavaScript, how to write them, and then there'll be models, how to import and export models. Okay, how to make your own models. Okay, and then remember I gave us a task here, right? I gave you a task. We don't want this to tell the user because we are the programmers, we understand why it is 6. Excuse me, but the user does not. So we want the user to rather get 4 names and not get extra 2 names that he doesn't know about. Alright. So thank you very much. If there's any question, please you may ask. If there's any question you may ask. If you're watching on YouTube, please do well to subscribe to the channel. Show some support. Like the video if you really like it, and share with someone who might need it. Let someone be helped out there. Any questions? Thank you, Caleb. Right, so
Thank you so much, Topman. God bless you.
thank you.
Wow, what a wonderful class tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
The PLD is cool. That's why earlier explained.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Caleb. Thank you. So we'll see you again. I will give you the next schedule, and we'll continue. We'll continue from here. Okay.